Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well as we dive into, ladies and gentlemen, it is match day. As N'Golo Kante once said, big up N'Golo Kante. It's semi-final day and the watch-along will be here later on tonight, so make sure you're here for that. Much appreciated. Go and check out yesterday's content as well. But I'm giving you this quick video because, like I said yesterday, I promised if there was going to be news, I would do a video, and we have news, so I'm here, basically. But watch-along later, match review straight after. We'll be here to see if Chelsea can get to the Club World Cup final. Come on! Anyway, make sure you're there. Subscribe and notification bell on. Let's get cracking. Gonna be a quick one. I'm gonna try and make it as quick one as possible anyway. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Latest on Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku is again a target for Bayern Munich, and they are keen once again on bringing Nkunku back to Germany. Chelsea will insist on a permanent deal for the forward. That came from Simon Johnson and The Athletic. We do have from The Athletic, this is the whole thing. Nkunku is again a target for Bayern Munich. The German champions first expressed an interest in the French forward in 2024, but have failed to land a succession of targets this summer, including Florian Wirtz and Nico Williams. Bayern are keen once again on bringing Nkunku back to Germany, where he was previously so successful with RB Leipzig, and Chelsea will insist on a permanent deal for the forward though. We have Ben Jacobs also confirming the news that Christopher Nkunku remains on Bayern's radar and is keen on the move to Germany. Chelsea will only entertain permanent offers. Gotta say, this is where I'm glad that business didn't go Bayern Munich's way. Because had it not been for Florian Wirtz going off to Liverpool or Nico Williams, well, it looked like Barcelona, and now it's just not going anywhere, staying at Athletic Bilbao. Thankfully, that means that they can come in and go for Nkunku, which works for us. So, because we've already established from the players that we've brought in, the ones that are coming in and the ones that we're still going after, that Nkunu, despite his goal against Benfica, much appreciated, just doesn't have a place at Chelsea anymore. If he ever did. It's such a weird one because he's a really good player. I like Nkunku. But he stopped caring. He wasn't used. He wasn't played in his actual position, if we're being honest as well. He got frustrated. It's just not worked. It's just not worked. Especially under Maresca, I would say. Especially, it's just not worked. So, he goes off. We get some money for it. We equal up the net spend, and we get to go for who we got to go for. And he goes back to Germany, where I'm pretty sure, I think at Bayern Munich he would thrive. I think he would actually do really, really well, if I'm being completely honest. So keep an eye on Nkunku at Bayern Munich. But if he went there, I'd wish him the best, honestly. And I think he would do well. So Bayern Munich are back in. Happy days. Let's see where it goes. And Bayern Munich, I'm going to come to again later in the video, because they want another one of our geezers. Yeah, they're not coming after one, they're coming after two. Stay tuned. Let's go to the latest on. I mean, what is it? We've moved from... We were talking about Rodrigo. We were talking about Kadus. At one point, we were talking about Garnacho. We were talking about trying to get someone in to maybe accompany Gittins. Well... I got to be honest with you guys. I think this is what Chelsea are going to do, and we're about to entertain it. So here it is, the latest on, and yep, he's on the screen right now. Morgan Rogers, not Brendan. Chelsea are big admirers of Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers. That's Simon Johnson and The Athletic as well, and that's him at the Formula One. I think that was him at Silverstone, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway. Yeah, not Brendan Rodgers. Flipping out. I apologise. I mentioned Rodgers 2 days ago, and I said Brendan without even realising. I actually said Brendan Rodgers, and I only got a couple of you correcting me, and thankfully you did, because I saw and I was like, no way did I say Brendan. I went back. I'm like, oh my god, I said Brendan Rodgers. I said Brendan. You know, he's got loads of character. He's got loads of character. Big up Brendan Rodgers. But Morgan Rogers. Yeah, this geezer, not the gaffer. This geezer is someone that we've known that Chelsea have been interested for a while. It just never really went anywhere, and it never developed into something substantial. But we're in a situation now where Aston Villa, we know, have financial difficulties in terms of PSR. We know that. That's fact. They're the most disturbed team, actually, in the Premier League. And, I mean, Kadus, we've got an update on. We're going to get to that, but it doesn't look like Chelsea are making a move. Rodrigo, God knows what's going on with him, and it's going to be expensive. It's going to be a lot of money. I mean, I want Rodrigo. I think who doesn't? Realistically, who doesn't? If you had a gun to your head and said, listen, take Rodrigo, you'd be like, yes, please. You would. So I would take Rodrigo, but it is a substantial fee. It is substantial salary. There would be competition. Is he going to stay at Real Madrid anyway? PSG aren't interested, apparently. It's a whole ball game, yeah? But Morgan Rogers, I was this close saying Brendan again, flipping out. Brendan, get out my head. Yeah, go to, where is Brendan Rodgers now anyway? Has he gone back to Scotland? Or where is the geezer? Anyway, he's in my head. That's where he is. Actually, I've got to kick him out. But Morgan Rogers, I can see this happening. I can totally see it happening, because in the same way that I was telling you guys how Kadus is multifaceted and can play anywhere across the front line, is the same how Morgan Rogers can do it too. And we know that. He originally came in to Aston Villa as a left winger and also as an attacking midfielder. At his time at Aston Villa, during his time at Aston Villa, he then shifted more towards the right-hand side and also as an attacking midfielder. From time to time, he plays as a second striker. He's also played up top when needed. He is versatile across that entire front line, but when you look in terms of what Chelsea actually need, we don't really need a number 10. There's Cole Palmer and there is Esteval Willian, and as much as both of them can play on the right-hand side as well, but with Madke leaving, we would need someone that can play on the right, but we also need someone that can fill in with Gittins, if necessary, on the left. Morgan Rogers is an answer to that. He is. As much as Kadus is, Morgan Rogers is too. Now, in terms of the ability of the player, when we're talking just the player and his technical ability, yeah, would you prefer Kadus or would you prefer Rogers? Right? That's a debate. Personally, I think Kadus has done more, but he is older and he has had more time in the Premier League and he has been, he's had more longevity. But Morgan Rogers, with the time that he's had since he arrived at Aston Villa from Middlesbrough, has been brilliant. At Villa, he has been really good. And this is why, when I look at this, I think, you know what? I think Chelsea are going to move for, I think it's going to be Rogers. I think it's going to be Rogers. Because he hasn't got his eye anywhere else, like Kadus has at the moment, and we've got an update for that, but he's not entertaining anywhere else. Salary won't be a problem. The fee won't be a problem because Aston Villa are tight. He can play on the left, he can play down the middle, he can play on the right, and we need someone that can play quite versatile anyway. And he's a decent player. He actually is good. Now, Morgan Rogers is that player at the level at the moment where it's also a question mark. As much as we want to say, yeah, he's a good player, but it's also a question mark. Can he hack the top level? That we don't really know yet. And that's, again, that's where it becomes a little bit experimental. But his time at Aston Villa, his time under Unai Emery, his time in the Premier League, as well as in the Champions League for the time that Villa played in it, and all the other games that we saw, Rogers had a lot of impact for Aston Villa. And is a player that you would have in your squad. And this is why I think Chelsea are going to move for Rogers. I think it's going to be Rogers. I think Rogers will be, remember, like Fabrizio and everyone said, Chelsea will get one more attacker. I think it's going to be Rogers. I think it's going to be Rogers. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Do you like Rogers? Would you take him? Would you not? Let me know. I'd love to know your opinions on this one. This is also a big reason why I did this video, because there was news, but I also wanted to get your opinion on Rogers. How are all of you feeling on Rogers? If he was to sign and he was to be the last attacking player that we buy, how do you feel? Let me know down below. Now, Madke, more news. Chelsea will want in excess of £50 million for Noni Madke. The club believe the current market justifies such a figure given the valuations of Kadus and Elanga. Okay, Chelsea watched my video. Great, that's exactly what I asked for. You know, I said 55. I said 55. Elanga's gone for 55. Listen, 55. Arsenal, 55, please. But we'll see what is going to end up being agreed. But anyway, let's keep reading. There's more. Arsenal have agreed to personal terms with Noni Madueke, but there is no club-to-club agreement as yet. Arsenal see Madueke as a versatile player who can support Bukayo Saka on the right flank, as well as provide an option on the left. Yeah, true. True. He's going to be a backup to Saka, mainly. On the left, if Arsenal have Martinelli and they're also going to get Eze, then Madueke is not playing on the left. I'm just going to be honest. Just call a spade a spade. He's not playing there. Because you'd have Martinelli and Eze. What more do you want? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, he'll just be Bukayo Saka's backup. But 55 million, please. Thank you. We'll see how this one develops. Like I said, this deal will happen. It's just a matter of when, not if. So, let's move. Let me know your thoughts. Nicholas Jackson also has a mention in The Athletic today. Nicholas Jackson, who is not considered untouchable, could leave Chelsea following the arrivals of Liam Delap and João Pedro. I told you guys already what my opinion is. I mean, you know what my opinion on Nicholas Jackson. But I'll be honest and tell you if I think he's staying or if I think he's going. I've told you guys already. I think he'll go. I don't think by the end of this window, Nico Jackson will still be here. I think he'll be gone. Like I said, a club I think eventually will come in for him. I'd be shocked if no one came in for him. Like no one at all. Given the circumstances that we know he's not going to really be playing as much as he has done at Chelsea before. And I've said, if a club comes in for him, Chelsea will entertain and will try and make some money from him. And I think a club will come in. I think by the end of the window, he will be gone. That's my honest prediction. Even if I wanted him to stay, which I'm not too fussed about. Like I've already told you my thoughts on that. But even if I was just hell-bent, like, no, we must keep him, I'd still be like, I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go. So we'll see who's going to make the moves. And I think Chelsea will entertain it because it could be a decent fee. It could be substantial money for Nico Jackson as well. And that will help in terms of the books and the business that we've done already and what we're still looking to do and making sure that we don't break any more rules. Because we're on a suspended sentence according to UEFA. So, yeah, we've got to watch ourselves. But Bayern Munich, come back. I said I was going to talk about you again, innit? Well, let's get into it. Here's more. Bayern Munich want Chelsea defender Renato Vega. That's from The Athletic. Fantastic. Swiss Army knife for sale. Has not been used very much. Still in brand new condition. Honestly, these deals, right, did not make any sense whatsoever. At the time, it was stupid. When we got in Disassi, we got in Vega, Vega, to be honest, decent player, but the way we just dispatched of him to Juve after 6 months, and it's like, what the hell are we doing? What is this? What are we doing? This all needs to stop, and I hope that the players that we see coming in now are players that we actually have a plan for, that are going to be part of this squad and are going to be a substantial reason as to why we don't need to go and do big business in the future. That hopefully is the case because we can't just keep rotating players. I mean, look at Madueke. You know, he was a player we brought in and we've used for a couple of seasons and his value's increased and now a club's come in like Arsenal and we're happy to let him go. You know? But also considering, yes, I mean, like I've said, as long as we're upgrading, I'm cool. But getting those players in shouldn't have happened in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to sell them now. Great, happy days, but let's not do that again. Let's not, please. So we'll see what goes down with Renato Vega, but Bayern Munich are interested. They can get themselves 2 in 1. Give us a nice fee, give us a good price, and you can have both. So let me know your thoughts on that one. Now, Kadus. Before we wrap up, we've got a couple of more things to get through. Kadus, the latest from West Ham. West Ham Central saying a club source is not convinced that Spurs will return with an improved offer for Mo Kadus, either informal or formal, and that introduces real doubt. The players' reps seem to be doing a lot of the talking, trying to get a move. West Ham are asking for £65 million. Tottenham, I mean, look, Tottenham, listen, you scared them off. You scared them off by saying, let's put an add-on with if we win the Premier League or the Champions League. It's the most ridiculous add-on football's ever heard. What were you thinking? You look, I mean, bloody hell, I'm choking. Bloody hell. I'm not gonna, I had a post-workout meal and it had oats, and I think I got an oat at the back of my throat. But Tottenham, look what you're killing people. You're killing people, man. What is this? West Ham, absolutely within reason to stick to this. Making me cry. Yeah, look. Kadus he's also put himself into a sticky situation here, because the West Ham fans have turned, and it's been made obvious that he's done a lot, like it says here. He's done a lot of the manoeuvring. Maybe not him personally, but his camp, his agent, whoever, are manoeuvring him for a move. They wanted the move, and now Tottenham might just not be doing it, and he's just stuck there because no one else is coming in. I mean, that's not a good look. Yeah, you know, West Ham hold all the cards at the moment, and fair play. They've played this really, really well. This is why yesterday I said, look, you got Sullivan and you got flipping Daniel Levy. Good luck sorting that one out. It's not going to be resolved tomorrow, but let me know your thoughts on that one. Long saga to go, I think, with Kadus. We'll see how it's all going to pan out, but it's not going to get sorted anytime soon. Now, Crystal Palace are in for one of our lads, it seems. Check this out. Crystal Palace have inquired about Chelsea's Josh Acheampong on a season-long loan. Have they? Have they? Palace. And I like Palace. Because, you know, I mean, for me, they're not too far from where I grew up, where my home is. You know, I got Chelsea, and I'm like, oh yeah, Palace are right there too. So I like Palace, but when it comes to business, we've not forgotten about Elise. Just saying. Yeah? So, Chelsea should entertain this deal on one condition. There is no obligation to buy. There is nothing in there that tells us we have to entertain any talk of making it permanent. Nothing. You want a loan? Cool. A loan, 1 season, he comes back to Chelsea. End of story. Deal with it. If we do that, I'm all for it. Why? Because that would actually be a very good move for Josh Hacheong. He's not going to be playing regularly. I mean, well, he could be part of the squad. I can't even lie, you know. He could. With the way Gusto's moving, Josh could actually... I'm trying to think here. 4 competitions, Champions League. Reece can't play all of them. What do you think? Maybe Josh? But I'm scared about doing too much too soon for Josh, even though it's a weird one, because Josh is at a level at the moment where you're not quite sure. He's past that academy stage, but he's not exactly like proper first team squad member. Do you know what I mean? Like proper. He's at that twilight zone. And I don't know what way it's going to go. You know? Is he still seen as just a young player developing, or is he seen as someone who is actually good enough to, yeah, no, you're part of the squad? I wouldn't be disappointed if he stays as part of the squad. But that would mean we'd have to use him, and that's only on the condition that he's actually ahead of Gusto. If he's not ahead of Gusto, send him on loan and send him to Palace, because he'll play every week. And if he plays every week, fantastic. That's good for him, that's good for us. But like I said, on one condition, there is no chance that he signs permanently at the end. No chance. And if Palace are cool with that, cool. That's what I would do anyway. So let me know your thoughts. What would you do? Down below. Much appreciated. Georgi Petravic. This is a weird one, I can't lie. Bournemouth and Sunderland are competing to sign Chelsea's Georgi Petravic. Strasbourg do not have the means to bring the Serbian goalkeeper back to the club. Let's not lie. let's not lie. Yeah, who owns Strasbourg? Oh yeah, it's the same guys that own us. If they're letting him go from Chelsea, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it'd be good if Strasbourg did take him, but we clearly do not want to keep him at all. It's obvious. So we're not going to send him to Strasbourg because Blue Car are not making any money that way. It's basically taking it from one hand to another hand. It's like, you know, but I still got it, you know? So, but when you look at the clubs that are interested or moving, Bournemouth and Sunderland, I was expecting more. I mean, I'll be real. I thought AC Milan might move or something. You know, Mike Maignan, we could help each other out, but AC Milan don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Instead, they want to try and bid 15 million euros for a 35 million euro player from Strasbourg because they think they're smart when they try to do what they did to us, even though we did that to ourselves as well. But you get the gist. You know, Petravic, I'm shocked. It's just Bournemouth and Sunderland. I was expecting more. Anyway, we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that one. But like I said, if we're letting go of Petravic, we have to bring someone in. We cannot just rely on Sanchez only. I mean, that's stupid. That is actually dumb. Completely dumb. So we got to move. To wrap up, latest on Chukmaker before we call it a day. Borussia Dortmund wants Carney Chukmaker on loan again. Chelsea are currently believed to prefer Chukmaker's outright sell, making a deal difficult at this stage. Listen, Dortmund, you got to stop mucking around. Yeah, simple as that. Stop messing us about. Just buy the flipping player. Yeah, just buy. What are we doing? How many times do Dortmund want to ask for a loan? Enough. Do you want the player or not? Yeah, if you do, buy him. That's it. Done. Don't need loan, and then another loan, and then another loan. He's going to have a career of loans. Forget that. No. Buy him. On this, no, I'm with Chelsea on this. Buy the player, or else we'll send him somewhere else. Yeah? Because enough's enough. Enough's enough. But, yeah. Chukmaker, again, he's another one. He doesn't really have a place at Chelsea. It's a shame, because he showed glimpses, and then he got injured, and we saw what happened, but with what we've brought in and what we know we're going to be using, he doesn't have a future. That's just the truth. So he's going to be on his way, but Dortmund, pay up. If not, someone else will. There we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Subscribe, notification bell on. And be here for the watch long tonight, where we entertain the semi-final of the Club World Cup, the Thiago Silva reunion, Fluminense versus Chelsea. Can Chelsea get to the flipping final? Can we be in the midst of winning another trophy? I hope. Make sure you're there tonight, and I'll see you then. Look after yourself. See you later on, people. Take care, and peace.